Hello and welcome. I'm Jettatura, and today I'm going to show you a few things revolving around the book Necromancy of Thay. First off, head towards the Blighted Village if you are not already there. Go through the doors to the alchemy shop and look for a hatched door. It can be pretty difficult to notice at first, but it's there, I promise you. Once in the basement, read the books around and loot to your heart's content. The books will give your character information, though I do not believe it is completely necessary, but does change how some dialogue choices are presented. When you are done, hit the lever to open the bookcase and proceed through. The lever is behind these crates over here. While there, I was also notified in the previous video I did through my comments section that there is an alternative way to get the Quasit Shovel permanently. A wizard can rename them by learning the spell through a scroll, though they must prepare the spell to use them. Though once summoned, you can replace the spell, and regardless, it does not cost a spell slot as it is a ritual spell. Simply choose the same dialogue choices I did here. It's mostly one throughout, but do not change Shovel's name. I believe you must be a warlock, sorcerer, or wizard for this to work. After finishing your dialogue, simply talk to Shovel again, and they will recognize your class. You get the ability to summon Shovel to Cheeky Quasit permanently without being a wizard or needing to prepare the spell. It's simply an ability to use once per short rest. Shovel can turn invisible and frighten enemies as well as dish out a little bit of extra damage. They're mostly similar to the Pact of the Chain Warlock's Find Familiar Quasit, though do not benefit from the features I believe.
Yes! Steel bodies, tear them, then Lily puts them back together, again and again. When he wasn't horny for the book. Oh, book this, book that. He loves the book. Oh, Master should go see. Talk to the mirror, and remember, balsam, good for burns. Oh? A spell shite! When the fisting starts, use the sparky magic to call Shovel. Let's kill everything.
As you see here, I now have the ability to summon Shovel the Cheeky Quasit whenever I wish. Well, once per short rest. If you want, you can take on these skeletons in the coffins. There are stalactites hanging from the ceiling, but I couldn't get them to work properly. I may have been able to use one in this situation, but I forgot to turn off Will's passive knockback effect on Eldritch Blast from the invocation I had him learn, and there it goes. Go towards the mirror and talk to it. Sorcerer gets some unique dialogue options here, I believe, that also work. Wizard gets a dialogue option that upsets the mirror. Try not to use that one. Answer as I do here, though your dialogue choices may display differently depending on information that your character has or if you pass some passive history checks. Just choose the most liked option. You are an ally. Tam is not a good person / lich. Balsam is for cleaning wounds, and you want the tadpole out of your head. Again, if you're a sorcerer, those options are also okay to choose. I think you can even try intimidating the mirror, though I did not try.
Why might one use balsam ointment? Acceptable, finally. If you could see anything in me, what would it be? You seek to survive. You seek power. Be welcome.
Get the key in the back room if you want to save some lockpicking. Don't worry about the trap right in front of the gate. I believe it only turns on the torches nearby. The trap the book is lying on is also not much of a threat. You can simply nab it and run out before anything hits you. You can disarm if you want, or you can place a book on it. Normally, placing a book on the trap makes it so that it does not go off, but it did not work for me today. I said stop it. Well, that worked for a split second at least. Now it's time to get the key. There are a few ways to get to the location you need to be. You can lockpick the cellar door here. You can bust the web open inside the house and jump down from above. Or you can go down the well. If you do take either the door or web paths, get close to the wall to make an investigation check, and you can use explosives, Eldritch Blast, or blunt damage to knock the wall down. If you walk along the webs, you'll spring a trap. Be prepared for a fight. This could be a good or bad spot for you to fight things as they all cluster up and funnel in. I chose to go down the well though, as I could better position myself around to take out the enemies. Don't worry if you fail your investigation check. Simply toss a coin down and it will tell you it is safe to drop. You can even get your coin back. Outside of the boss in the area, these should be the only enemy group you need to worry about. Make sure you're fresh for the boss. Just be mindful of being in melee range, as insects can swarm you from one of the enemy types as they drop to 0 HP or when hitting them with melee attacks. And for this boss, I recommend sneaking in and waiting until it's on the web. You can use Firebolt to burn the web away and make it fall and take a nice chunk of damage. Alternatively, you probably notice a giant hole in the floor. If you can get it to walk on the web on the bottom floor and then burn that, it'll fall through the hole and be taken care of instantly. It may also be possible to do enough knockback if positioned correctly using Eldritch Blast. I didn't test it, but using an elixir of Hill Giant Strength could potentially give you enough strength to shove it in as well. Also, I should mention, if you want, you can cast Featherfall on yourself and jump down there too for a little surprise. Or don't cast Featherfall on yourself and jump down and get a different surprise. Technically, you may not even need to fight the spider at all if you're stealthy enough. It is a difficult fight, especially at level 3 on Tactician. However you decide to handle this, you may have noticed something glowing purple in the distance. That is our key to opening the book. Literally, it's a key. The amethyst gem matches the eyes on the book, and that was your hint. You could have decided to give this book to Astarion or Gale, but you can also read it yourself. There are a few high DCs you can make, and if you fail any, it will have some detrimental effects. Sorcerer also has a unique interaction with the book and can make different checks on it for similar results. If you pass all of them, you learn Speak with Dead without needing to prepare it. You also gain Forbidden Knowledge, which gives you a +1 on wisdom checks and saves. What if you don't want to use the book or give it away? You can also toss it on the ground and deal radiant damage to it to burn it away. However, be prepared. At this level, the enemies that sprout from the book can be a bit of a handful. Make sure you have a light source, as these enemies can become invisible without one. Having a source of see invisibility is also handy. I recommend using radiant damage as they are vulnerable to it. Avoid necrotic, however, as they are immune. If you chose to use the book, however, it hinted that there is more to unlock. You will not gain access to the methods to unlocking further knowledge until Act 3. Here is your spoiler warning if you do not want to see anything from Act 3. Tune out now to avoid spoilers, but I will mostly keep the spoilers to location spoilers and information about the book specifically. Okay, if you're still with me, once you make it to Baldur's Gate, head to Sorcerous Sundries. Go upstairs and take the blue silver portal all the way on the left. I won't mention why this is the correct portal, but if you know, you know. After the cutscene, jump on the tables and go to the lower level. Alternatively, you can break into the office and it will get a more direct path to the vault. If you have see invisibility, this next part will be straightforward for you as the buttons list what purpose they have. If you don't, just hit the button to the left of the barricaded wall. It will lead to the vault. There are invisible floors here. Just move forward. You'll be fine. Path towards the object you want to find is Silverhand, Evocation, and then Wish. Hit the lever and then go back and go to the door that is now unlocked. Alternatively, you can just use Knock on it and it will open as well. Interacting with the tome inside will curse you, but if you use the spell Remove Curse, it will convert into temporary HP I believe this occurs every time you long rest. To remove confusion, you do not need to remove curse each time, but you do get the buff. Once you've attained this new codex, once again use the Necromancy of Thay. Further delve into the knowledge and you gain the ability Danse Macabre. This is actually nerfed compared to where it used to be. In the past, you would get 6 undead thralls instead of 4, and you could manually control them. Now they are AI controlled. Not nearly as useful as they were, especially since you can no longer dismiss them when roaming around town, and they can also end up blocking you when in combat. Hopefully they at least let us use them manually again in the future, but if they don't, there are mods for that. Their HP was also lowered, I believe. They are still plenty strong though, don't get me wrong. Their melee attacks can inflict paralysis, and it is very deadly when they do so, as paralysis is a guaranteed crit. Well, that brings this video to an end. Thanks very much for watching. Leave a comment below on how you ended up using the Necromancy of Thay. I haven't given it to Gale or Starring yet myself, so I'd be interested in how that turns out. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Take care and have a good one. There's beep.